Welcome to this deep dive. We're digging into Don't Complain, Nobody Cares. Learn to focus on your life today.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm already hooked.
Yeah,
It seems like we're all about ditching negativity and embracing action here.
absolutely.
What was the first thing that jumped out at you from this book, Expert Speaker?
It's really interesting how this book just goes straight into personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Like it's saying, instead of getting bogged down by complaints,
Yeah.
we should actually be focusing on things that we can control.
Right. Things we can influence.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. It's a fresh perspective, for sure.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught in that complaining trap without even realizing it's happening,
Yeah, totally.
And then it just impacts us in all these different ways.
Absolutely.
The book really dives into this whole cycle of negativity concept, right?
Totally.
Like how it can really spiral.
Yeah, the book makes it clear how constantly complaining
Right.
can lead to this downward spiral that affects everything.
It affects our mood,
Yeah.
our actions,
Mm-hmm.
and it can even affect our overall quality of life.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's not just venting. It's
Right.
it's shaping our reality in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
The book gives some specific examples too of those negative thought patterns that can keep us stuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what were some of the ones that stood out to you?
Well, I think one of the big ones is constantly criticizing ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Like that inner critic that just never seems to shut up.
Yeah.
And then there's always assuming the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Always thinking about what could go wrong.
Yeah, like bracing for impact all the time.
Exactly. And then fixating on what's wrong
No.
instead of even trying to look for what's right.
Right.
It's like a negativity bias almost.
Yeah. And those can be such sneaky habits.
Oh, they are so sneaky.
We might not even realize we're doing them.
Totally.
So it makes you wonder, listener, do any of these sound familiar?
Uh-huh.
I mean, think about it for a second. It's like the book is giving us these little red flags
Totally.
to watch out for.
That's like a warning system.
So we can catch ourselves before we totally spiral,
Yeah, exactly. And once we can see those patterns, the book encourages us to go even deeper
Okay.
and identify what it calls our complaint triggers.
Complaint triggers.
Yeah, those specific things that set us off.
Okay.
That kind of send us down that familiar path.
The path of negativity.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
So it's like having our own personalized negativity map.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Figure out what sets us off.
Totally.
The book gives some examples, like a super frustrating commute.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or maybe a project that just feels so overwhelming.
Uh-huh. Or even a specific person
Oh, yeah.
that always seems to push your buttons.
Like just being around them gets you going.
Exactly.
Yeah, those triggers, they could be anything.
They really could be anything. It's so individual.
Right.
What's fascinating is that once we're aware of these triggers, we can start to manage them,
Manage them instead of letting them manage us.
Exactly. Instead of just being reactive to them,
Right.
we can be proactive.
Oh, that's a game changer for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
So, listener, take a second. What are your triggers?
Yeah, think about it.
What situations or feelings tend to make you want to complain more?
Uh-huh.
What gets under your skin?
Because the book doesn't just stop at identifying these patterns.
Oh, okay.
It goes on to explain the real impact of complaining.
The real impact.
And it's not just an internal thing.
Right.
It's bigger than that.
Like it has a ripple effect.
Exactly. It can affect others, too.
Yeah, the book emphasizes how our complaining can impact those around us.
For sure.
Our relationships, the people we care about.
It's like this negativity virus.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, it spreads.
It can be contagious.
Totally. And the book points out that complaining can reinforce these feelings of victimhood.
Oh.
And powerlessness,
Uh-huh.
which can then seep into how we interact with others.
Right. So it's not just our own mood. It's
Exactly.
it creates this whole atmosphere around us.
Yeah, it's like a cloud.
A negativity cloud.
Uh-huh.
It makes you think, listener, how might your complaining be impacting the people you care about?
Uh-huh. It's a good question to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
But here's the good news.
Okay. I like good news.
The book doesn't just leave us dwelling in all the negativity.
Oh, good.
It offers a way out,
Okay.
a path towards positive change.
I like that.
And one of the key strategies it suggests is setting achievable goals.
Okay. So this is where we shift that energy, right?
Exactly. From negativity to action.
Instead of focusing on what's wrong, we're channeling that energy towards something we want to achieve.
Totally. And the book breaks down goal setting into these manageable steps,
Okay.
which I think is so helpful.
Yeah. It makes it less intimidating.
Yeah, because it encourages starting with something you genuinely want to accomplish.
Right, something you're actually excited about.
Yeah, exactly. And then working backwards.
Oh, okay.
Figuring out those smaller actions needed to get there.
I like that approach.
Yeah, it's like reverse engineering your goals.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by this huge goal,
Right.
we're creating a roadmap
Exactly.
with these clear, achievable steps.
Like a step-by-step guide.
It feels so much more attainable that way.
Definitely. And the book really emphasizes being realistic with our goals. It's not about aiming for perfection.
Yeah.
It's about setting ourselves up for success by making those goals achievable.
Yeah, like setting ourselves up to win.
Exactly.
So listener, what's one goal you have that you could break down using this method?
Yeah. Think about something you really want to achieve.
And alongside this whole goal-setting concept,
Yeah.
the book highlights the power of gratitude.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Gratitude.
Yeah,
It's such a simple but powerful tool.
it really is.
The book suggests this really easy practice. Okay, what is it?
Just write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning.
I've heard of that one before.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's about intentionally shifting our focus, right?
Exactly. From what's wrong to what's good.
It sounds cheesy,
I know, but it works.
but I bet even just a few minutes of gratitude can totally shift our perspective.
It really can. I've tried it myself.
Yeah, I've tried it too.
It's amazing.
So, listener, what are 3 things you feel grateful for right now?
Yeah, take a moment to think about it.
What are you thankful for?
You might be surprised at what comes up.
Yeah, I think you would be.
Uh-huh.
And then even beyond just feeling good,
Yeah.
the book talks about this concept of flipping the script on challenging situations.
Oh, I love this.
Flipping the script.
Yeah.
So instead of seeing a challenging situation, like, ah, man, this is terrible.
Right, another obstacle.
Well, it's like, wait, what's the good in this?
Exactly. It's about finding those positive outcomes even when things are tough.
Even when things are tough.
Uh-huh. The book gives the example of a difficult work project
Okay.
and how we can use that as a chance to learn new skills
Oh, I like that.
and build confidence.
So instead of getting bogged down by the difficulty,
Right.
we're focusing on the potential benefit.
Exactly. Like, what can I gain from this?
I love that reframing.
It's a powerful shift.
So, listener, can you think of a recent challenge
Mm-hmm.
where you could focus on those positive outcomes instead?
Yeah, think about a time when things didn't go your way,
Uh-huh.
but maybe you learned something valuable from it.
See the good in it.
Exactly.
And this idea of reframing challenges
yeah.
ties in really well with the book's emphasis on building a supportive network.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The book talks about surrounding yourself with the right people
Uh-huh.
who will lift you up,
People who encourage you.
especially when we're going through those tough times,
Yeah, it's so important to have that support system.
because we all need it.
Everyone does.
And just as important, the book reminds us to be that supportive person for others as well.
Absolutely. It's a two-way street.
Right. It's not just about taking, it's about giving too.
Exactly. It's about creating this cycle of encouragement and growth.
Where we both give and receive support.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And that ties in with the idea of a growth mindset.
Okay, growth mindset. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the book talks about how important it is to cultivate a growth mindset.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's basically the belief that our skills and abilities can be developed over time.
Okay.
It's not fixed. It's like a muscle you can train.
So it's not like, oh, I'm just bad at this and I'll never be good at it.
Right. It's more like, I might not be good at this yet,
Yeah.
but I can learn and improve.
Right.
And that mindset is so powerful
Why is that?
because it helps us see setbacks as opportunities to grow
Oh, okay.
instead of just feeling stuck.
We're defeated.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
instead of seeing challenges as these limitations, it's like,
Right.
okay, this is a stepping stone
Exactly. It's a chance to become even better.
to become a better version of ourselves.
Totally. And the book doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
There's so much more. It touches on a whole range of other valuable strategies for personal growth.
Wow, it's like a toolbox.
It really is. It's like a treasure chest of tools for self-improvement.
Okay, I'm excited to open that treasure chest.
Me too.
We've only just scratched the surface here,
We've laid the groundwork.
but there's so much more to explore.
So much more.
Let's dive in.
Let's go.
All right, so we've talked about the negativity cycle,
Mm-hmm.
those sneaky thought patterns,
Yeah.
setting goals, practicing gratitude.
Gratitude is so important.
It is, it really is.
It's like a superpower.
So now I want to unlock some of those other tools for self-improvement that the book talks about.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
One that really stood out to me was learning from criticism constructively.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's so easy to get defensive
Not totally.
when someone's criticizing
Yeah.
us.
Especially if it's not delivered in the best way.
Yeah, but the book has this interesting take on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's encouraging us to actually see criticism as a chance to grow.
Yeah, like feedback.
Instead of shutting down or getting upset,
Right, like our first instinct.
we can try to filter out the negativity
Uh-huh.
and see if there's any truth in the feedback.
Exactly. Look for that kernel of truth.
So it's about finding that little nugget of wisdom,
Uh-huh.
even if it's kind of wrapped in something we don't want to hear.
Yeah, it's like a little present.
It's like asking, is there something I can actually learn from this?
Yeah, how can I use this to get better?
Separate the personal attack from the actual helpful insight.
Right, because sometimes it's mixed together.
Yeah, it's hard to tease it apart sometimes.
It's a skill,
It's definitely a shift in thinking.
for sure.
Another strategy that I thought was interesting was embracing challenges as opportunities.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
This one felt like a real game changer.
It is. It's all about mindset.
Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks,
Right, like something to avoid.
the book is encouraging us to see them as stepping stones.
Exactly, like a path to growth.
I like that.
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger,
Yeah.
but like applied to personal growth.
Taking those oh no moments
Mhm.
and turning them into bring it on opportunities.
Love it.
Of course, some challenges are tougher than others.
Definitely.
And the book dives into a big one,
Okay, which one?
stress.
Oh, yeah, stress is a biggie.
It offers some practical techniques for managing stress effectively.
Because we all need that,
We all need help with that one, for sure.
for sure. It's like a universal challenge.
It starts with recognizing the signs of stress
Uh-huh.
early on before they become overwhelming.
Right, catch it before it spirals.
The book mentions things like feeling constantly on edge,
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
being easily irritated.
Uh-huh. Or having trouble sleeping.
Those are all red flags
Definitely.
we need to pay attention to.
It's our body telling us something's up.
What's interesting is the book gives a whole toolkit of coping mechanisms.
Oh, that's good.
Everything from physical activity
Exercise is so important.
to mindfulness practices,
Meditation can be so helpful.
making sure we're getting enough sleep,
Sleep is crucial.
eating well.
Yeah, nourishing our bodies.
It's about finding what works for you
Uh-huh.
and having those strategies ready when stress inevitably pops up.
Because it will pop up.
Stress is part of life.
It's unavoidable.
And speaking of taking care of ourselves,
Yeah.
the book emphasizes the importance of self-care,
Self-care is so important.
which honestly I think a lot of us forget about.
We do. We put it on the back burner.
It's so easy to put ourselves last.
Yeah, we're busy taking care of everyone else.
But the book makes a really good point about how crucial it is
It's not selfish.
for our well-being.
It's essential.
It's not selfish at all.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first.
Right, you can't help others if you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Taking care of our physical and mental health
Uh-huh.
allows us to show up as our best selves.
For ourselves and for everyone else.
So whether it's taking a walk in nature,
I love nature walk.
reading a good book,
Yeah, or just taking a few minutes to breathe deeply.
just relax.
Uh-huh.
We need to make time for those activities that recharge us.
It's like filling up our tank.
Another area the book goes into is communication,
Communication, yeah, that's a big one.
which is something we all do every single day.
We do, whether we're good at it or not.
Exactly.
Some of us are better than others.
The book goes beyond just basic communication. It emphasizes enhancing our communication skills,
Taking it to the next level.
not just for work,
Right.
but for building stronger, healthier relationships.
Because communication is the foundation of any relationship.
It really emphasizes active listening.
Oh, active listening is so important.
I'm still working on that one.
Me too. It's a constant practice.
It's about truly hearing and understanding what the other person is saying,
Uh-huh.
not just waiting for our turn to talk.
Yeah, we're so quick to jump in with our own thoughts.
I know, I do that all the time.
We all do it.
It's about being fully present
Uh-huh.
in the conversation,
And trying to see things from their perspective.
even if we don't agree.
Yeah, even if we disagree.
It's a subtle but important shift.
For sure.
And, of course, the book also talks about the importance of expressing ourselves clearly
Right. Being articulate.
and articulately.
Using our words effectively.
So we're not misunderstood.
Yeah, because miscommunication can cause so many problems.
It's about being aware of our communication style
Uh-huh.
and how it impacts our interactions.
How do we come across to others?
It even touches on those nonverbal cues,
Oh, yeah. Body language?
making eye contact,
Uh-huh.
Having open body language,
All those nonverbal signals.
it can make a big difference in how we come across.
For sure. Sometimes our body language says more than our words.
It's like we're fine-tuning our communication skills on every level.
It's a holistic approach.
And then there's setting boundaries,
Boundaries are crucial.
which honestly can be tough for a lot of people.
It can be. It takes practice.
The book is really clear about the importance of boundaries, especially with negative influences in our lives.
Yeah, those energy vampires.
It's about recognizing those people or situations that drain our energy,
Or bring us down.
having the courage to distance ourselves.
Sometimes you have to walk away.
It's about prioritizing our own well-being,
Yeah, putting ourselves first
being assertive enough to say no.
when we need to.
And it's not just about shutting out the negative.
Right.
It's also about creating space for positive influences
Yeah, surrounding ourselves with people who uplift us.
who inspire us.
Those are the people we want to spend time with.
It can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. It changes everything.
And speaking of positive influences, the book also talks about engaging in activities that are truly meaningful to us,
Oh, yeah, finding our purpose.
tapping into our passions.
What lights us up?
It's about making time for those things that make us feel alive.
Exactly. It could be a creative hobby.
Volunteering, spending time, doing something we love.
Whatever brings you joy.
What's fascinating is that these meaningful activities not only bring us joy,
Yeah.
they also help us recharge.
And de-stress.
It's a win-win,
Totally. It's like a double dose of goodness.
like feeding our souls and taking care of ourselves at the same time.
That's a beautiful thing.
And speaking of taking care of ourselves,
Yeah.
the book also talks about developing resilience,
Resilience, that's a key ingredient for a happy life.
which is that ability to bounce back from challenges.
To not let setbacks keep us down.
Life is full of ups and downs,
See, it's a roller coaster.
and resilience helps us navigate those challenges with grace.
And determination.
What's interesting is the book doesn't view resilience as something we either have or don't have.
Right, it's not an on-off switch.
It's something we can cultivate and strengthen over time.
Like a muscle.
The book offers specific techniques for building resilience,
Oh, that's cool.
like cultivating a positive mindset,
Yeah, focusing on the good.
learning to see failures as opportunities to learn,
Instead of as defeats.
and of course, practicing self-care.
Always important.
It's about equipping ourselves to face those inevitable challenges
Yeah, being prepared.
with strength and confidence.
Knowing we can handle whatever comes our way.
And speaking of learning, the book emphasizes the power of feedback,
Feedback is a gift.
which can be a really valuable tool for growth.
It can be, if we're open to it.
It encourages us to see feedback, even if it's not positive,
Right, even if it stings a little.
as a chance to improve. It's about listening with an open mind,
Not getting defensive.
filtering out the negativity,
Yeah,
looking for those nuggets of wisdom
those little gems.
that can help us grow.
They're in there somewhere.
It's about seeing feedback, not as a personal attack, but as a chance to get better at what we're doing.
Exactly, it's about growth.
And sometimes that means seeking out feedback actively
Oh, that's a good point.
instead of just waiting for it to come to us.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask.
Another area that the book touches on that I know a lot of people struggle with
Okay, what's that?
is maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one these days.
It's something so many of us struggle with,
It's hard to find that balance.
but the book offers some practical strategies for creating more harmony.
Yeah, between work and our personal lives.
It starts with setting clear boundaries
Boundaries are so important.
and prioritizing our well-being.
Yeah, putting ourselves first.
The book reminds us that it's okay to say no sometimes and to make sure we're taking time for ourselves.
Even if it means disconnecting from work.
It's about creating a life where we feel energized, engaged in both our work and our personal lives,
Instead of feeling burnt out.
and overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Speaking of feeling more balanced and centered,
Okay.
the book highlights the benefits of mindfulness
Mindfulness.
and meditation.
Meditation is so powerful.
These practices have become so popular.
For good reason.
The book explains how incorporating these practices into our daily routine can have a profound impact.
It can change your life.
It's about learning to be present
In the moment.
and to quiet those racing thoughts.
Yeah, that mental chatter.
It's like creating inner peace and stillness.
Amidst all the chaos.
The book points out that these practices can be so helpful for managing stress,
Darren.
improving our focus, and cultivating a more positive outlook.
It's like training your mind.
And speaking of training our minds,
Okay.
the book also talks about building healthy habits consistently.
Oh, yeah. Habits are everything.
It emphasizes the importance of starting small,
Small steps.
choosing one habit we want to cultivate,
Mm-hmm.
and committing to doing it consistently.
Even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
It's those small, sustainable changes
Right.
that really add up.
It's amazing how much progress you could make.
It's about being patient
Uh-huh.
and understanding that building new habits takes time and effort,
It's not an overnight thing.
and celebrating those small wins
Oh, yes. Celebrate those wins.
to keep ourselves motivated.
Because it's easy to get discouraged.
It is if you're not seeing
To
progress.
celebrate every little victory.
Now, there's one challenge the book addresses
Yeah.
that I know a lot of us can relate to.
Procrastination.
Ugh, procrastination.
It's that sneaky habit
It sneaks up on you.
that can derail our progress.